So the DCCC did vote 11 to 10 yes on Prop 64, but they didn't all read it. Not all of them read it. And the Milk Club also misunderstood Prop 64, which promises to put us in jail, to take apart Prop 215, which we fought so hard for. And the gay community, like Harvey Milk, was one of the first politicians to actually be elected as LGBT and to put cannabis on the ballot, Prop W, in 1978. And I wanted to move to San Francisco from Hayward just to vote for it. So anyway, that was for decriminalization. Now, we cannabis patients and the LGBT community legitimized the herb, and now Monsanto wants to take it away from us and turn it into a GMO, and they want to make people criminal. You can only grow 6 plants indoors, which is a lot lower in the potency, and you need, it's meth lab politics if you need more nuclear power plants to power all these bright lights that have to simulate the sunshine in your inside your apartment. And they can't grow very tall, can they, if you have a low ceiling? And there's so much wrong with this law. It's written by billionaires, for billionaires to get rich. Gavin Weiner, I call it Gavin Weiner's law, because Gavin Newsom wrote it, you know, to help his politician friends, obviously, and he used the LGBT community in much the same way. We are misunderstood a lot, so because Milk voted yes, but not by much. But we had MCLR, which was a better ballot proposition, but unfortunately we couldn't get any billionaire backing because it was too egalitarian. It would have empowered people of color, you know. So we beat Prop L, you know, which was another power grab. Prop L was another cannabis ballot initiative that was another greedy power grab, and we voted it down. So we hope to vote this one down. It's running ahead, although it's scary. So there's a lot of work to do. It's restructured prohibition, actually. Prop 64 is posing as legalization. It's dodgy and complex. It's 63, 64 pages long. It's very, very long. I've got it right here in my phone if anybody wants to read it. It's like a Jim Crow law. And we were excluded from the policy conferences, the patients. We went to Sacramento to the policy conferences. We were locked out so we have videos. I have videos right here of us being locked out of this conference. If you want to see them, I could show them afterwards. And you can't grow outdoors. They can ban outdoor growing. You know, and already where I grow down the South Bay in Silicon Valley, it's illegal to grow outdoors now. We couldn't grow a crop this year, you know, and I have a fatal disease called Lyme, and it's like AIDS, only it's a suppressed illness where they want to call it something else so they can treat me forever rather than curing me in a year or two, you know. So anyway, it's really tough. This is an alternative medicine that it's the only thing a lot of us can tolerate, you know, and you know, it makes it so I can eat. And I'm going to be a criminal because I need more than 6 plants to survive, you know, more than 6. So I have to leave California if this passes because I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to die in jail of Lyme. I have to take antibiotics for 2 years. This is personal. It'll put kids in jail for 3 years for growing, up to 3 years for growing pot. How do they call it legalization? I don't know how they can even include that word. The adult use of marijuana legalization, you know, act. It's not legalization. Now, Lyme disease also makes me a little bit jumbled up in the head, so please forgive me. You know, I'm not usually this stupid.
No, you're doing good.
Thank you.
You're doing good, Denise.
Thank you. I just don't want to see kids going to jail for cannabis. Smoking outdoors the fine will go from 100. I had to smoke during the meeting, you know, and out in front of the cop station. But I mean, I'll get a $250 fine for that if this passes, from a $100 fine. Now, so they're calling this, and that goes into Gavin Newsom's slush fund, and for the cops, you know, to police us more. And you have to have a permit to grow in your house, and that's more invitation for the cops to come in your house. You know, this is what happened to, you know, the First Amendment, you know. So, that's why I'm saying it's Jim Crow. It goes against so many constitutional amendments, probably all of them except number 2, and maybe even that one too, because you can't have any. Anyway, there's a lot. I can talk all day, but and also Prop 64 proponent is Dr. Lyman, who hates cannabis. Gavin Newsom hates cannabis, so he oh gee, I hate cannabis. I think I'll write some laws about it. I don't get it. So, Dr. Lyman hates cannabis, and he says it's unhealthy to justify more regulations like having to go to rehab if you get caught smoking it outside and you're between 18 and 21. They'll send them to rehab. Rehab for what? You know, cannabis is not an intoxicant. It's a euphoric. It's classified as having no medicinal use right now. You know, and it shouldn't even be on the schedule at all. It should be a folk medicine because it's not an intoxicant and it has no toxicity level and it has no cumulative effect. In fact, if you keep smoking, you'll smoke yourself down. You know, unless it's indica. That's kind of sleepy. But I'm talking about the sativas, which is what I like. So anyway, let's see, and the billionaires found a doctor to call cannabis unhealthy to justify market takeover by tech billionaires. This is what I wrote down. And big pharma, of course, they want their snouts, and they want to get in on it. And if someone grows more than 6 plants, it's illegal. Permits will be needed to grow, meaning more cops coming in your house. That's what I wrote. 6 plants per property. What if there's more than one patient on the property? And this is going to take apart Prop 215 too. And if there's more than 6 plants, 7 plants up, big no-no. I mean, sometimes you don't know if they're male or female, you know, and you might end up with 3 plants or 2 or 1. Because I had a crop come up all male but 2, and I tried to plant like 14 of them, and most of them come up male. It just depends on how you germinate. So there's just so much wrong with this. It's just not legalization. We wrote something MCLR, but it didn't get backing from billionaires, so it didn't go through. But it was a very well-written law like Prop 215, and I helped write it. I'm a ballot proponent of it. And also, you won't be able to give away pot anymore to poor people like me. I depend on free cannabis, you know, and I won't be able to get that anymore if this passes because nobody will be able to grow for me, and I won't be able to get a doctor's letters because the doctors will be scared to death to write letters because there won't be any patient-doctor confidentiality anymore. More Jim Crow laws, you know, other health care. Oh, you know, that's confidential, but not with cannabis. Does that sound like a Jim Crow law to you? You know, and this skin color doesn't matter here.
5 minutes, Denise.
Okay, and no more giveaways. 2 decades. We fought for 2 decades so poor patients can avoid big pharma death, and that's not going to happen. So proponents are Southern Wine Spirits Lobby, George Soros, Sean Parker, who couldn't steal music anymore, yeah, you know, with Napster. And the private prisons aren't going anywhere. You heard they are, they're not. And they'll be looking forward to a lot of peaceful cannabis prisoners, because who wants to really deal with real criminals? I mean, really, you know, let the community deal with them, right? You know, actual rapists and criminals are scared to death of them. They'd rather lock us up. So it's more, if cannabis were held to the same regulations as aspirin, aspirin would not have been approved this year. Do you know that? Aspirin would not have been approved, you know? So that's pretty hypocritical, you know, and Big Pharma pretty much runs the government, you know, all those Cialis commercials, you know, you can thank them for charging me $300 for my antibiotics when they really cost 10, so they can sell Cialis and Viagra to you guys, so, and women. Probably, I don't know, but anyway.
So Denise, you should open it up to questions.
Cannabis has been illegal since Hearst and Anslinger and the petrochemical companies got together to outlaw it and benefit corporations. Now we have oceans full of plastic, a hot planet forest gone. They're gone. Prop 64 doesn't protect anyone or their job from child protective services or at your job.
Hold on to it.
And so we're treated like, yeah, so anyway, make your own decision, but I hope you vote no.
Thanks, Denise.
Thanks, Denise.
So, if there's any questions, can I just say one thing?